Let's talk about homelessness. And let's talk about these so-called city officials that's supposed to be smart. When you have city officials that's purposely trying to keep you in a homeless position, or you have these smart-minded university people that try to keep people in a homeless situation, they are the most dumbest people on this earth. Yes, they may have university training, but they don't have real life training. And these so-called smart, intelligent people are the main one that try to keep you homeless in order for them to do research so that they can finish off their research. Well, I'm not a research. I am not a lab rat. I am a real live human being. And that's something that they don't want to accept. And let me pinch myself and see if I hurt. Yep. When I pinch myself, it hurts. So therefore, that makes me a real live human being with a brain. Now, for these people to have so much credentials and have so much bachelor's, master, social work, clinical, and all of this, when you keep people in a homeless situation, you are not solving the problem. You are contributing to the problem, because what people want to keep people out on the streets and brag about having a bachelor degree. You are actually escalating homelessness for your study or for your YouTube videos or whatever they use the homeless people to exploit them. Now, what are you exploiting them for? You're exploiting the homeless for money. And it's not money that's going to the homeless people, because they should have been off the streets a long time ago if you was really for the homeless people. There's no way that you could tell me that people been giving money, been giving, and you can't say that the people have not been giving. People been giving money for the homelessness. This homeless problem should have been solved a long time ago. These smart politicians and these smart people thinking that they got degrees and master degrees, and you mean to tell me you don't know how to solve your own homeless problem? It seems like it's escalating and it's not getting better. Do you mean to tell me over 20 years you still have not solved this problem, but you're forever building big buildings for the rich and the wealthy? You're forever sitting up there making way for a golf course. What you need a big old golf course for? That's land that tiny houses can be on, and it costs no money. It costs really no money to build tiny houses community, compared to all of these big condos that they be building, and half the people don't even live in these condos. They just built them and they're empty. They're empty as hell. Or you got big old, yes honey, I'm doing my videos. And you got big old buildings that's empty, and they got a lot of homeless people out on the streets in tents. Now, you mean to tell me that you would rather settle for human beings to live in a dirty tent out on a dirty street like they're dogs and like they're a cat? Even some dogs and cats live better than human beings. So you mean to tell me that society done got that desensitized to the point where you are making it okay if you have a tent? We're tent friendly on our streets of America. We're tent friendly. So that means that you're giving people permission to live out on the streets. Then for you to put the money into tiny houses, how much will a tiny house cost? Well, let's do the calculation of a tiny house. How much does it cost to buy a piece of land? Even 1 acre or 2 acres of land for a person, it costs nothing. It costs nothing, especially with the government having so much land available. It will cost nothing. And then to be able to get a tiny house, how much does it cost to build a tiny house? Probably not even $3,000. And Home Depot or Lowe's, they have those sheds, big enough sheds where you can start off with a shed and build around that shed, put flooring down, put a section for cooking and a session for the bathing area, and it costs nothing. What's the cheapest shed that I seen? The cheapest shed that I seen for a tiny house was no more than about $700. So you mean to tell me you can't solve your own homeless problem? California got all of this land, and California try to always claim that they don't know what to do about the homeless situation because the homeless situation is just out of control. Well, who made it out of control? Because it had to take the politics. The politicians are the one that's running the show. So who made it out of control? The homeless people made it out of control? No, they didn't make it out of control. The politicians and the higher ups, the ones that so-called got all these degrees and all this knowledge, but you're dumb as hell. You don't know how to solve the problem, but then you don't want to listen to the homeless people. Then at the end of the day, before they was homeless, they had to be executives. Some of them got job training, so they had to be somebody.